Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I have a confession to make. I have a very large, very shocking confession to make, and that is, man, that I love Knives Out. I really, really did. And it's a movie that I went into it expecting it to hate. I went into it with so much anger and animosity and just over The Last Jedi, right? I had 2 years of that pent up F you, Rian Johnson aggression built into my system. And I'm like, oh, I'll watch it and I'll shred it. And it's going to be terrible because this movie's going to be crap. I mean, it's going to be so easy to tear apart. And I found myself absolutely at every step of the turn, enjoying what I was watching and having a lot of fun. My girlfriend and I both had a great deal of fun watching this movie. We both really liked it. And I feel bad for that a little bit because I gave Rian Johnson so much crap over Star Wars, but I'm glad to see that he has found himself a niche that seems to work well for him, considering that now we're finding out, according to Collider here, that a Knives Out sequel is officially happening. And this is something that I kind of figured was going to be going down, right? I think we all kind of figured it was going to be going down this way, mostly because of how successful this movie was based upon the budget. Now, it says here, Knives Out, the critically acclaimed comedy murder mystery from director Rian Johnson, is officially getting a sequel, which is such good news that we could all just take the rest of the week off and meet back on Monday morning. Okay, Collider, please get your tongue out of his butthole. Who wrote this? Tom Ryman. Are you really trying to get in with Rian Johnson that well, dude? Come on, seriously. Are you fishing for corn nuggets? What's going on? Stop it. Anyway, during the studio's quarterly earnings call, Lionsgate CEO John Feltheimer said that a follow-up to the hit movie has been given the green light, which means we'll soon be hip deep in another whodunit starring gentleman detective Benoit Blanc. And let's see here. Now, Knives Out is on its way to a $300 million worldwide gross and has nabbed several award nominations, including 3 Golden Globe nods for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, Best Actor and Actress for Craig and Ana de Armas, and the film has also picked up Academy Award, BAFTA, WGA, and Critics' Choice Award nominations for Best Original Screenplay. It makes complete sense that Lionsgate would be keen to do a follow-up, considering that Johnson has indicated that he would be willing to do an entire series of Benoit Blanc mysteries and already has an idea for a follow-up film. And yeah, I mean, like he's already talked about that. Like, right, he says here, for more Knives Out and potential Benoit Blanc cinematic universe, check out the interview with Johnson where he shares some of the sequel ideas and everything else, right? So this is maybe one of the only things that that Collider does really well in this particular regard. So Knives Out as a whole is just a fun movie. It really is. It's a fun whodunit that actually kept me guessing. What I had thought was going to happen did not happen, and I was pleasantly surprised. And I think that goes for a lot of people. I think to Rian Johnson's credit, he crafted something after The Last Jedi that I think a lot of people found to be impossible. And I even said on Twitter that this is the kind of thing he should do. Do more movies like this, where you have crazy, over-the-top, eclectic characters that are all involved in this murder mystery. And we don't get a lot of those anymore. We don't get a lot of the Perot or the, or what is it? The, Clue type things. We don't get those anymore, but we might actually get those with Rian Johnson. Here's the thing: looking at the Box Office Mojo page for it, we can see here that it's done surprisingly well. It had a budget of $40 million. It did have an opening gross of $26 million, but its worldwide gross is $294 million. And I think if it does win Best Original Screenplay, which it might, coming up this week, then of course that's going to definitely put it over the $300 million mark. The movie comes out on home video here pretty soon, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it once they see it, and that's actually pretty freaking cool, to be honest with you. I do like to see people finding success in the work that they do, and even though I have my complaints with how Rian Johnson responded to fans and critics over The Last Jedi and how that whole mess kind of derailed Star Wars, if he no longer touches Star Wars, that's going to be the best move for his career, I think. And this is something that Lionsgate is keen to keep going. And Lionsgate has had a fair share of problems in recent years, and so they honestly need some of these franchises. This is I mean, look, he might have an idea for a sequel to Knives Out, but I guarantee you Lionsgate is already going like, dude, make it a full-on series, right? Make it a full-on series. Daniel Craig just sits there with a Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Southern accent and he just flips a coin around in his hands, and that's going to be very easy work for him to do. Just chew in the scenery, but fill it with interesting characters, and you've got yourself a very, very cheaply made and popular movie series that can go off and do very, very, very well. And but I do want to actually say I do think that 100% this puts him at the point of this would be Rian Johnson. I think Rian Johnson is at the point now where he will not be doing Star Wars, right? Because we know that Bob Iger had said that there are still no plans, for the foreseeable future for Star Wars films. I still don't know if that impacts the 2022 movie. I don't think so. But if he's doing a sequel, that means it's going to come out in 2021, and he doesn't have time to finish Knives Out and then go on to do his Star Wars movie. So, look, he's up for not only many awards, a lot of financial success off of this. People seem to really like it. Why would you dive back into Star Wars? Why would you dive back into that toxic environment of which he is, he has played his part. Let's not absolve Rian Johnson of everything. But why would you go back into that world when that world and you clearly don't mesh as much as you perhaps would like? Kennedy is going to be out by the end of next year, so she's going to be his one saving grace. Iger probably doesn't want to touch any of that crap ever again. So no, his trilogy is done at this point. I think we all can agree on that front. But Knives Out being a franchise, man, count me in, sign me up. I'm there day one. And that makes me happy because I don't want to hate any filmmaker. I don't want to hate any movie. I did go into Knives Out with low expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. And so I do hope that we get to see a lot more out of this. And I'm curious to know what you guys have to think about this as well. So why don't you let me know down in the comments, or head over to reddit.com/r/3bucktheater. That is our newly formed subreddit. Thank you very much to Ollie, the fan, who put that together. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun to get that going. And if you guys do want to help support the channel in other ways, you can also head over here to patreon.com/MattJarba. There are going to be some cool things coming down the pipeline that are going to be exclusive to Patreon and also channel memberships, but that's going to be whenever I get that stuff done. And don't forget to definitely subscribe. You want to help support the channel, you got to hit that like, you got to hit that subscribe, you got to smash that bell, and do all that stuff, because YouTube kind of sucks for a lot of people in the first part of the year. So there we go on that one. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening to me prattle on about movies, and have yourself a good one, guys, and peace out.